Hello children, good morning. I am Abrahma teacher working at Checkpages Girls Literature, Literature Medal. Earlier chapter we have discussed about those favorable conditions which led to flourish industries in Britain. Apart from that, most important thing is technology. Early phase of industrial development in Britain is strongly associated with new machinery and technologies. On the basis of this technology, we are going to discuss about coal and iron industry and cotton spinning weaving and steam power and as well as transportation. Let us start. Coal and iron. However, until the 18th century, there was a scarcity of usable iron. Iron is extracted as pure liquid metal from the ore by a process called smelting. For centuries, charcoal was used for the smelting process. This had several problems. Charcoal was too fragile to transport across long distances. Its impurities produced poor quality iron. It was in short supply because forests had been destroyed for timber and it could not generate high temperatures. All the above mentioned problems were solved by a family of iron masters, the Derbys of Shropshire. In the course of half a century, three generations of this family, grandfather, father, and son, all called Abraham Derby, brought about a revolution in the metallurgical industry. Revolution by Derby family. It began with an invention in 1709 by first Abraham Derby, 1677 to 1770. This was a blast furnace that would use coke, which could generate high temperature. Coke was derived from coal by removing sulfur and impurities. These inventions meant that furnaces no longer had to depend on charcoal. The second Derby developed wrought iron, which was less brittle from pig iron. Hennicourt designed the puddling furnace and rolling mill, which used steam power to roll purified iron into bars. The British iron industry quadrupled its output between 1800 and 1830, and its product was the cheapest in Europe. In 1820, 8 tons of pig iron needed 8 tons of coal to make it, but by 1850 it was reduced to 2 tons. And there were 5 coastal coalfields which could deliver their products almost straight into ships. As a result, shipbuilding and shipping trade increased. Next one, cotton spinning and weaving. The British had always woven cloth out of wool and flax. From the 17th century, the country had been importing bales of cotton cloth from India at great cost. As the East India Company's political control of parts of India was established, it began to import along with cloth new raw cotton, which could be spun and woven into cloth in England. Till the early 18th century, spinning had been go slow and labors that 10 spinners were required to supply sufficient yarn to keep a single weaver busy. Therefore, while spinners were occupied all day, weavers waited idly to receive yarn. But a series of technological inventions successfully closed the gap between the speed in spinning raw cotton into yarn or thread and of weaving the yarn into fabric. From the 1780s, the cotton industry symbolized British industrialization in many ways. The industry is heavily dependent on work of women and the children in factories. Then another important power which played a key role in development of industries in Britain is steam power. Steam power. Steam power was first used in mining industries. As the demand for coal and metals expanded, efforts to obtain them from ever deeper mines intensified. Flooding in mines was a serious problem, and steam engines were used to drain the mines. But the technology was still very imperfect to be used on a large scale. James Watt invention converted the steam engine from being a mere pump into a prime mover capable of providing energy to power machines in factories. Backed by the wealthy manufacturer Matthew Boulton, Watt created the Soho Foundry in Birmingham in 1775. From this foundry, James Watt steam engines were produced in steadily growing numbers. By the end of 18th century, Watt's steam engine was beginning to replace hydraulic power. The next is transportation. Transportation is most important for the industries. Transportation plays a crucial role to develop the industries and as well as country. McAdam devised the method of making pucca or macadamized roads. Canals were initially built to transport coal to cities. The making of first English channel, the Bursley Canal, by James Bradley. Thousands of kilometers of canals were built by 1830 and were used to transport commodities cheaply. The invention of the railways took the entire process of industrialization to a second stage. The first railway line connected the cities of Stockholm and Darlington in 1825. The next railway line connected Liverpool and Manchester in 1830. Within 20 years, speed of 30 to 50 miles an hour was usual. So these are the main aspects which led to flourish industries in England. Children, in page number 189 and 190, there was a topic, who were inventors? Read out this topic and discuss. And take the map of England and point out the iron industry where they were located. These are the two tasks you have to do. And by next session, we will discuss another topic. Until that, have a nice day. Bye.